All right, the email here says, look, I've used all my vacation days up for the year, but now he wants some more so he can attend a bachelor party and is wondering if he can approach the boss. Mo, I'm out of words right now. You want to read this?
I got you.
Okay.
Good morning, Bert Show.
Morning.
I desperately need your help with what to do about my company's vacation policy. Just a little background. I've been doing outside sales for 5 years when the pandemic hit, and with outside sales comes a lot of perks. My house and car are my office. I make my own schedule, etc. But the best perk is I had unlimited PTO with my old employer. So if I wanted to go on a vacation for the weekend, I would just grab my laptop and my work cell, and I could work from the beach on Thursday and Friday and have my vacation for the weekend. My old employer's mentality about this was, this is your commission. You get paid by how hard you work. So if you want to take a day off or two off, that's fine, but you just won't make as much commission that month. You decide how much you make. Now, in saying all that, when the pandemic hit, my company was affected and my paychecks began to get smaller and smaller each month to the point where I needed to find another job. My new job is inside sales, and I work in the office every day from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. The company I now work for is a very corporate, worldwide company and has strict policies that everyone adheres to. One of them being that you have 10 vacation days a year. I used all 10 already this year for my dad's 60th birthday, and I went out of the country for the first time. I love my new job, and I love this company. But I am the best man in a wedding coming up in October, and the bachelor party is in 2 weeks. I need Thursday and Friday off to go on this trip. Being the best man, I planned this whole trip from the Airbnb, golf, dinners, the cigar bars, and nightlife we're going to. And I paid for all of this up front on my credit card, and everyone is paying me back in time. I asked my boss for additional days off and explained all this to him, and it was denied. He said company policy is 10 days of vacation, and I had used all 10. I told him what if I worked from home those 2 days and answered phone calls, emails, and everything that my job entails, but I could also go on the trip. That was denied as well. I was told I needed to be in the office in case someone came in and wanted to buy our product so I could assist them. I don't know what to do or what to say to my employer because having a job is very important, obviously. But having a work-life balance is important to me as well. I understand I used all 10 days, but there has to be a middle ground we can come to so that both of us are happy. I have already had to turn down a few other trips with friends and family because of this 10-day vacation policy, and I refuse to miss my best friend's bachelor party that I planned and paid for. What are y'all's ideas to help me if you have any at all? Thanks, from a loyal P1.
All right, I would like to get real managers on the phone. 1-855-BERT show. The way we run this show is just like not the real world.
I literally just hit Bert up yesterday with an email saying, hey, can I miss the last break of the show so I can go meet Jimmy's teachers? And he was like, sure.
I think I actually said, why don't you leave at 7?
No.
Do us all a favor.
No, I mean, it's just not, I mean, we're so like loosey-goosey in
I
here.
know.
There is no like very strict policy. You can only have 10 days. And if anything, I'm a really big fan of like, if you're getting the work done, I don't care if you take a day off.
Yeah.
I could care less. My assistant, Amy, she could take a week and a half off and I would have no idea whatsoever, but I know if the work is done and I know it keeps her up at night. So I couldn't care less. I don't micromanage that way. But in the real world, it's different, right?
Cass?
So they answered their own question in the email. You need a new job. I would quit. I've gotten to the point in my life and seeing my friends too in jobs that they hate. And luckily I like mine. So let me put that out there. But like your life is, you don't work to live, right? Or you don't live to work. You work to live. So why are you passing up on these experiences because your job won't let you have more than 10 days, which is a ridiculously small amount of time. I mean, if you look at other countries worldwide, the U.S. is embarrassing in the amount of vacation time. So, but that's the company policy. And if a manager isn't willing to recognize your hard work and make those exceptions to retain good employees, then it's time you found yourself a new job that appreciates you.
Cassie, with all due respect, it sounds a little cavalier. Like, just go quit and find a new job. That is not so easy, man. I mean, going and finding a job that you're really fulfilled by, that pays you well, is more difficult than I think you're saying.
They're not fulfilled.
Yeah, but he said,
upset.
I love my new job and I love this company.
Right, but then he keeps not being able to do stuff, and he keeps having to pass up on stuff with family and friends. Like, figure out what your priorities are. If that stuff is your priority, then you need a new job. You have a choice, and it's a difficult one. Doesn't mean it'll be easy, and it doesn't mean it'll be immediately possible. And I realize there's a lot of privilege attached to it as well. But in that position, you already found yourself a new job. You can find another one, and with something like sales, there are tons of remote opportunities.
Hey, Jenny, good morning. You're part of the Bert Show. Hi.
Good morning, guys. Hi.
Hey.
So I'm an HR manager. I've been in HR for several years. He knew the 10-day policy, and I'm sure his dad's birthday didn't just pop out of the blue, and I'm sure his best friend's bachelor party didn't just pop out of the blue either. So he knew both of those going into the year. He should have taken that into account when he started planning for things, and that's why they tell them that they've got 10 days.
Yeah, I feel like you are representing mostly corporate America right now. And I'm not coming down on you, Jenny, on this at all, because I think that's mostly how the country works. But I do think there's a new evolution now. And I think Cassie mentioned it also, that quality of life is so much more important to a younger generation, that these hard rules like this really put some companies at a disadvantage, you know?
I mean, I agree. Work for a corporate office.
Yeah.
But while our mindset has changed on how we work, corporate offices haven't changed. Those policies haven't changed, or at least not all of them, especially the ones that are older. They haven't changed because they're still run by the generation that was hard set on those rules and those policies. And until that generation is replaced, that mindset isn't going to change either.
That is a great call. Thank you. So all this dude has to do is wait 20 years, keep the job for 20 years, and when there's a new boss, then he's good to go.
Now, I am curious, and not to say that this is right by any means, but it's not fair that a couple of bad apples can ruin the whole bunch, but there are people who would take advantage of a situation like this. And while, yes, there are some people who I agree as far as like the quiet quitting and this new wave of, not living to work, but working to live. And for far too long, people's hustle has been taken advantage of. I do agree with all that. I also think there's people out there that take advantage of that situation. So if you give him 2 days off, then somebody else is in the office is going to get wind of that, and they're going to want their 2 days off. And then you get this domino effect, and it's like, where's the line drawn?
Want to bring us home here, Mo?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be the change you want to see, which is why I do agree with what Cass is saying. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality of the situation. Two things can be true. He does deserve this. I do think it's an evolution that people deserve to have, but at the same time, these companies are not going to change anything until they're forced to. So sometimes you do have to step out there and take a risk and be the one that's going to create the change.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched? Well, you can get way more of The Bert Show on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.